Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Holy crap! Wait, audio is working. This is the dumbest thing in the world. All right, turn the audio on. My test. My lord! Oh boy, I hate Streamlabs someday. Really, really hate Streamlabs. 44 kilohertz, folks. Do not change your streaming settings to 48. That's a bad thing. And you have to restart it. So 44 kilohertz is the answer. Now, this is also kind of weird. I have a separate sound port on source for the Rodecaster, but also for whatever reason, unless I list it as an auxiliary device, it's not working. So if you look here, I'm going to ruin the stream by doing this. I'm going to cross the stream. But if you see here, I already had Rodecaster set here, but I had to set it as an auxiliary device. Now it shows up with the mixers twice, but it works. No clue why. No clue why. The streaming gods. Streaming, hardest thing to do in the world. Man, let me tell you, I've written some pretty complicated software in my day, but nothing matches the complicity of freaking having to get streaming software working right. It has not been great. To say the least, I've had a lot of problems with visual quality. So that's what that's why I haven't streamed the last couple of days, is I've been literally spending my lunch hours trying to research like a better fix for all this. Needless to say, what else? Sorry for those of you that didn't get audio. What I was talking about is literally that the visual quality of streaming software development specifically has been something that I've taken on as a personal thing to try to go through and get the best quality of video. The last couple of streams that I actually did was using a service called EVUMX, I think it was called. Yeah, that software I tried. What was it called again? I got a link here. Let me get back over to my browser. Be under work. This EVMux, not good. Not good. It's a lot of compression. I tried everything to try to get it so that my code, like when I scroll code, it wouldn't over compress, and it was just terrible. It had a bunch of cool things that I wish I had, like the ability to stream to LinkedIn. That's kind of cool. And so I'm not using OBS. I have OBS. But I'm not using OBS because I multi-stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And that's what I was looking for is, okay, well, maybe this is just a Streamlabs problem. And, I can get off it. Now, Streamlabs currently is based, oh boy, I could tell you so many stories about streaming software and stuff. So one, OBS is on version 30. Version 28 of OBS, if people want to hear this, this is for streamers, I guess, only. But if you care about this, OBS in 28 added M1, basically ARM. So if you're on an ARM Mac, they added the option here for the ability to do Apple hardware encoding. That's a big deal, okay? But here's the problem. If you're on an Intel Mac, okay, and you do hardware encoding, you're doing VBR, not CBR. CBR is important because of how the internet works. Okay, variable bitrate means is that sometimes you're going to send up, a packet of 6,000. Sometimes it's going to be something different, right? It's how many bits are you sending up in a stream. Constant means that no matter what, we're going to just constantly hammer it. And the theory would be is that the quality of service that some ISPs use are going to pick up that pattern. They're going to say, okay, this is a stream. We're going to treat it like X versus Y. Variable bitrate means that you're going to vary, and the quality service stuff may not work the same way, and so you're going to get lagging in your stream. This is what Twitch at least says, right? This is if you go read Twitch's documentation, they explain this. So you want CBR, and for me, I'm a developer. I want smooth scrolling. I have a very fast internet connection. I have 1 gigabit fiber here in this building, so I want the ability to have 6,000 for my bit rate. And I did have 4,500, so I upped that to 6,000. And man, I feel the difference is night and day in scrolling. Like when I'm looking at the stream, I do have it open on another screen here that I've been testing just the last couple of days. And the quality seems to be better. I got to turn my volume up on the stream that I'm watching here. Now on YouTube, it's really kind of interesting because on YouTube, I see more compression than on Twitch. I don't know why. On Twitch, the compression is like almost not seen. I've learned this also. It is based on your background color. Certain background colors give more compression artifacts than others, and that kind of makes sense, right? Because if you think about it, compression really is trying to compress colors down and stuff. So some background colors look better on streaming than others. So I've literally, since last Thursday or Friday, Compile Swift, another person that watches the stream quite often, been talking to him a little bit about it. He came in on a stream last week, and we were kind of hammering out this. We are looking at fonts and colors. What is it that would look nice for developers? And so that's something that has been really kind of interesting. I think right now, at least on Twitch, like I said, it's pretty darn smooth. Over in YouTube land, it's not as smooth. I just switched over to YouTube to watch it a little bit, and I'm watching the scrolling now on YouTube. I'm starting to believe that could just literally be me trying to multi-stream in bandwidth, right? And so one of the theories is that, you only got so much bandwidth out to the internet. Now, I've got a pretty big pipe. Like I said, I have 1 gigabit both ways. There could be that. Am I doing 720 to YouTube? I thought I was doing 1080. No, according to YouTube, I'm doing 1080 straight to YouTube. I shouldn't be downsampling at all. Let me check that. I thought I didn't downsample. Let me see. Video. So I'm not downsampling at all. So it should be 1920 by 1080 on both, with 60 frames set. Yeah, YouTube does sometimes auto lower based on your bandwidth available, and if you're watching multiple streams, it could do that. I basically always set myself to 60 locked, 1080p at 60, and then I watch the stream from there. I do see a little bit of compression though on YouTube, which is a little bit of a bummer. Now I could always just do the stream on Twitch and then upload it to YouTube afterward. And that's what I was doing beforehand, and I was using the OBS. And OBS seems to be more stable than Streamlabs in my research, based on me trying both, right? I'm a developer. I POC things, and then I look at the results based on my test, and then I go through and make some decisions on like what I'm going to do, right? That's how we think as developers. In many ways, we're kind of engineers or scientists, right? We perform experiments to see like what's the most efficient way to do this. In my experience, what I found is that for multi-stream, I like Streamlabs because I get music, and I like the Streamlabs music. It's royalty free and it just works. And I like listening to music when I code, and when I'm on a stream, when I watch streamers, I like it when they have music. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I'm not worried about the cost too much, to tell you the truth. I'm really not. I mean, it's a hobby, but if it's like under $30 a month, it's not a big deal to me. I mean, Streamlabs right now is a fee right now, right? So it's about $120 a year for Streamlabs, if I remember right. And that gives you the Streamlabs music, which is mostly what I use it for. I use it for multi-stream, and I use it for the music, which is really, really nice. So, I mean, I'm already into paying a fee for this. And I've looked at, like I said, OBS. Now, another one that most people don't know about is called Wirecast. It's a Mac-only streaming application. It's designed for professionals. I actually have used it in the past. When I first started streaming a couple years ago, actually more than a couple years ago, this would have been like in 2020, I did some streams, and I did it with Wirecast. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's a pretty badass piece of software, but it's totally different than OBS. Like how you set up scenes is really, really different. And to me, I felt it's confusing compared to how you do it in OBS. And Streamlabs and OBS are almost the same. So if you know, I mean, Streamlabs is OBS. It's just, a version hacked up and added some features into it. I feel OBS is easier to use the interface than that. So I don't know if it's because I learned OBS first, but the other thing I didn't like about Wirecast is music. Once again, it's hard to get music into Wirecast. And you're looking at another subscription service like, Pretzels or something else in order to get music into your stream and have it not be caught for copyright. So all these things cause problems, right? When you're a streamer, trying to stream code as a hobby, not as a profession, right? This gets tricky. And so I guess I'm going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place in this testing that I've been doing the last week. So I could go with something like Restream and see if that fixes some of the compression on YouTube. I could just tell people, hey, if you're on YouTube, you could watch on Twitch, right? And the compression doesn't seem to be nearly as bad there. In fact, right now my Twitch stream seems to be ridiculously solid. I'm actually very impressed with the video quality on Twitch. Right now, I'm watching it, and that's what I want it to be. I want it to be silky smooth. I want to be able to have developers read the code, because when I watch a stream, that's what I'm looking for. I want to be able to read that code. I want to see what they're doing. That's why I'm there. I'm watching it because I'm trying to gain some knowledge or help out, or have a conversation with them about their code. And so if you can't read my code, that's not cool. And if I'm scrolling and you can't read the code, you may miss something, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody scroll and go, whoa, wait, wait, go back to that line. That line right there, is that the right line? Maybe that's the line that's causing the problem. And so if your stream sucks when you scroll, it's a whole experience that's just not great. This is all my personal opinions, of course. So this has been the, my Achilles tendon. This has been my, my Moby Dick kind of whale hunting moment here of just trying to get this to be as best as possible. I haven't tried Restream. I looked at it. I've also seen StreamYard. The place I work, Couchbase, we use StreamYard for quite a while. StreamYard doesn't give you any customizations whatsoever. So my problem with StreamYards is the window that they give you for code is always too small. I can't tweak it to get the maximum amount of my screen real estate on StreamYard. And it's expensive. It's about $40 a month for StreamYards to multi-stream to two different platforms or more. So that's pretty expensive compared to 20 some bucks. EV Mux, if they can fix their stuff, the concept's really great. It's just the video quality was absolutely terrible. I think if you go watch the stream, I think I did on Friday, it was just like a train wreck of bad, extremely bad quality. So that's apologize for taking part of the stream here, just to continue prototyping my eventual stream setup. And sorry for rambling quite a bit about streaming things when if you're developers, you probably don't care about streaming, but you kind of should. In some senses, like, this is really a great way to learn and a great way to get out and talk with people. And I think everybody should stream a little bit. It gives you the ability to talk to people about code and where your learning experience is and how you can share that and maybe get feedback from people. No, it's let me get the link up real quick here. I'll show you that link. 1 second here. It is this service. Oop, that's not it. It would be this. EV Mux. Oh, it's trying to bring the editor up. That's probably not a good idea on this stream. Yikes. That's bad. But this is it right here. EV Mux. Let me try to go to www.evmux.com, because it tries to take over your microphone and stuff, and that's probably not good. So they have a studio product, and it's a web-based interface. You can try to plug it in with this is supposed. I watched a lot of videos on this before I actually did it. There's a lot of people talking about it, that it has all the pro scenes, and pro scenes work just like scenes do in Streamlabs. And man, just talking to people, a lot of people are saying just how great it is. And I think if you're a certain type of person, this is probably pretty good. And honestly, the basic plan here for $20 isn't bad. You get so you could do custom RTMP, right? And so that is ability to stream from something like Streamlabs. You get recorded content, 20 gig of storage, no watermarks, 4 destinations. That's what I was looking at. 4 destinations. That's YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or X, or whatever the hell it's called now, and LinkedIn. That would be exactly what I'm looking for. That's awesome. And then all the stuff in the free things, which is, I was like, full HD. That's what I'm looking for. Backstage mode, I don't care. I don't care about participants. I pretty much do this by myself, but I may want to have some friends on every once in a while to do that, right? That would be cool to have like a stream with some of my buddies and get them on. And then 9 destinations for pro. I don't need 9 destinations. So I was looking at this at $20 a month. If this actually had the video quality I was looking for, this was like a steal. I was like, man, this is for $20 a month. This is great. I'd even do the annual and just pay like $150 and call it a day and get this up, because then I was hoping I could use Streamlab with it. Plug Streamlabs would go to these people and let these people broadcast out. But I found that the video quality was terrible. Absolutely terrible that they send out, and I don't know why. And I played with it for a little bit and then started to realize that every day I'm playing with this, I'm not streaming. And that's the whole point of this, right? This hobby is a stream. So if you're not streaming, that's bad. So what's it called? The one that you recommended. I looked at it also because I Restream. I guess this is no longer .NET this today, and this could be more about different stream providers and like how to try to get your stream quality pretty decent. So they start at $16 a month, which is pretty great. But the stream is in 720. And that doesn't work for me. That is, in 2023, 720 is a joke. When it comes to code quality and stuff, I'm sorry, that's just not high enough. So $41 a month for 1080p. That is pretty darn pricey right here. And so that's where EVMux was doing that for half the price, for literally $20 a month. I was like, hey, that's no joke. That's pretty good. 41, this is billed as $500 a year. I mean, that's a considerable cost for a hobby. That's something that my wife would be very not happy about. That's something I'd have to get approval for, because that's pretty expensive. I mean, that's like a car payment for most people. So that's more than just a hobby at that point in time, right? And I'm conscious about how much money I spend on a hobby. So that's a little bit pricey. Then you have StreamYard. Once again, I don't plan on making money for streaming. So, it's not something where this is like a revenue stream for me. So it's not like, well, I could pay this, but I'll get it back. So this is StreamYard. They're the third one. They do 1080p. They do it on air, but they're $35 a month. So a little bit more. And then you can save $160 if you do it where you bill it annually. But they're giving you 8 destinations, right? The problem I had with the basic was the overlays and backgrounds and how the stream shows up, your code shows up on the screen, is not great. You can't read it very well. They don't give you the templates where you can make it look like in Streamlabs, or my little pictures way down here in the corner. It's as small as I can make it. And I still have my, bottom 2/3 here, but then this is all like screen real estate. They give you where the pictures are on the side. They only give you like a template. We use this at work, so I've used it quite a few times, and it's probably the most stable of all the streaming platforms from the standpoint of like an idiot could do it. You just log into this web page and click a button and you're up and streaming. But I felt like the ability to control the maximum amount of code on the screen is not really there. And who knows, maybe I'll go back to it because it was easy. I mean, I don't even know if we have a work account. Maybe I'll just stream on the work account, set up as a separate source. I have to talk to my boss about that. This is kind of private too, though. It's not really work related. So I don't know if I feel 100% comfortable with that either, because that seems like a bad jerk thing to do. I'll have to ask him about that. So anyways, that's been my journey in streaming, trying to figure out like what the hell's going on. How do I get streaming to be decent quality, this and that. So, but really what I was here to do is to take a look at this damn .NET code and see what we can do about it. So in the previous streams of our life as .NET developers, we have discovered that Shell and Maui and .NET 8 and Android specifically does not like what the documentation tells us that it should be. And so what we've been trying to do is the following. We've been trying to get a flyout menu to come out, right? So let's go here. We're going to run our flyout menu. We're on Catalyst right now. And I put some styling in it to try to figure out why my click events weren't working. So I add some padding in here because if I take the padding out, you're going to find that most of the links don't work. So let's go ahead and stop. It's not even debugging right now. I just built it. So let's go ahead and stop. We'll take a look at some things here that I've done. And so the row spacing here has really been the secret sauce here. If I drop this, if I just drop this out and rebuild, we're going to find, The height request is going to be the other thing here. Actually, the height request, even if I build, it's going to be capped because of that. Let me do platform back to 44. And then, so I match up in platform, because then that would be a true test of like where the height problem happens. Basically, what's happening is the styling on Android does not respect dark and light mode in shell, specifically only in flyout. That's a mouthful, I know. So see here, this is what the normal menu should probably render like, right? But the problem is, if I try to go back to projects here and click on it, notice like my mouse is there. I'm clicking with my mouse, it doesn't work. But if I move my mouse just below the word, that little J there, then it works. So it tells me that they have a bug with how they do the label versus the, that's probably a label. And what they're doing is the click event, so the gesture for click in Catalyst. So Catalyst is an iOS application that's wrapped to run as a Mac application. So technically speaking, this is still UI kit code. My guess is that's a label with a tap gesture on it, and the tap gesture is not set right with its constraints, and that's what's causing the problem. As a native developer, that's where I would guess that problem is happening. In shell specifically. And so if I abuse this by making the height bigger, right, that would force even if I did this, right, I bet you this might fix it. If I force the coordinates to be calculated by me saying what they will be instead of taking the default, my guess is that the gesture will adjust itself based on the constraint, and this will probably fix it. That's an educated guess, right? So if we go back here and I'll take a look here. So here's developer. I'm going to click on developer. We'll go back to project, just try click on the word. So it still doesn't work. I still have to click pretty far into there to get projects to click. So that's not working. If I changed it to 88, and that was a size I think I remember from the previous streams that I was working on, that I eventually got it to the point where you could click on it to work, which is way too big, right? I mean, for Mac application, it just looks dumb. But these are the problems that when you run multi-platform, you have to run into, is that you're going to waste a bunch of time trying to get your application to just function. Compared to native, this would just not even be a conversation piece here, right? But because of the fact that Maui is compiled down to platform and you don't really control 100% how that's happening, this is a defect that's pretty hard to fix then. And you're saying, well, don't use the flyout. Well, that's the reason my Maui, though, is they use all these ways that they do things to save me time, right? To get a flyout menu in each platform without having to write the platform-specific code. If I had to write the platform-specific code, why the hell would I even be using .NET and Maui? I might as well just go write this in Swift UI and Jetpack Compose, and I would have this done in half the time of writing .NET and then writing all the platforms anyways. So that's also not a right answer to this. And project is still a little flaky, even at 88 pixels. I still have to kind of click within a certain degree of the word in order for it to work. So that does tell me it's some kind of spacing problem here. Now, while 88 is the magic number, I think even 80 wasn't working, if I remember right. I don't know. I haven't looked at the native code yet that it's generating for flyout. And that would be the next thing to investigate, right? Is to go look at the platform code, maybe even put a pull request in it to try to resolve this if I can figure out like why they're doing it wrong. That would be the right citizen move thing to do there. So 80 is not too bad. Actually, so 80 is still working. I click on the word. If I click anywhere in the spacing of it, it's also still working. Well, that's interesting. What happens if we do 70? Where is our breaking point? I thought it was 88, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see if 70 is the breaking point for this. Yeah. So 70 is a little finicky. I'm clicking on the RM project. Nothing's happening. I click on the J, it works. So 70, so okay. So I'm guessing maybe 75 pixels is maybe 75 pixels is a sweet spot here of working versus not working. Because we know 80 worked. We know 70 doesn't work. We'll go in the middle, right? Merge sort. Go look in the middle, see if it works. So developers working without problems. 75 works pretty good. I still think that that's a lot of space in between the menu. Honestly, I'd live with that. Wait. Okay. Let me try it one more time. Make sure that I could live with that. I can live with that. 75 seems to be okay for Mac Catalyst. Okay. So the next problem is to get Catalyst looking right is we got to fix the logo here. The font is different because there's two different things inside of a shell. There's your template for your menu items is different than your flyout items. What? Yeah. So you see here, this is a menu item. This is a flyout item. A flyout item has a page or a route or something associated with it. Okay. And so for each one of these, for example, I have a content template, and that is a view, which is just basically a view in the application that's defined. So each one of these are different views. You can call those pages. You can call them whatever you want. I'm calling them a view. And so what happens is when you click on that, the shell's going to be smart enough to say, oh, okay, I'm going to go load this view up, and that's what I'm going to tell the navigation stack to go to. However, the logout, there is no view for that. I want the business state to change. So because of that, menu item is different than flyout. Well, we do styling on this, right? So there's some styling that goes into this, and the styling for a flyout out of the box is different than the menu item, and that's what's causing it to look different. Like it's the font is smaller, for example. So if we go look here, let's go take a look and see what's going on here. See if we can find out what the font is doing here. So the label, here's the label. So we're saying here that the font size is 14, 20 on Catalyst, 20 on Windows. The font attribute is bold on iOS and Catalyst. And we're given a little bit of options here. These are the two problems right here. We're saying here that the font size in that. So we would need to do that for this also. Now, what I don't know is can we do it can we inline it? Or is this something where we have to adjust the actual style template for it? So let's try font and see what I see. Font. Okay. Font. That seems to work. Let me see here. Let's see if we can cheat code this. Can we just change the font size and attributes here and have this work? Computer says no. Okay. Well, then now we have to take a look at the styling for this. So how do we give a styling? So shell item template. So we have to figure out the shell menu item template. So let's go to the internet and see if we can figure out the menu item template for a shell. We'll click here and see if we can get this figured out. So let's go to .NET 8 Maui shell menu item template styling. Oh, here we go. Here's the docs on it. Let's see a menu item. So let's go in here. So we have menu items right here. So menu items, that we know what that is. We have a menu item here. That's great. They operate on a command. That's what I want. They also have a template. There we go. So here's our template. So it looks like it's almost the same thing as the flyout. So let's go here and check that out then. Let's see here. So if that's true, we should be able to do here. Let's just grab this and then say, how did we do the bindings here? Okay, so what we'd want to do here then is we have an image source. What's our image source? Well, we don't have to worry about image source just yet, but eventually we'll have to. We'll have to make sure that these height width requirements are the same. But the label is what I care about. So the label we see here, column 1. All right, so let's do this. Let's find our label here. Here's our 2 styles for our labels. And let's change that right here. All right. we're gonna try to kill it here. See, oh, and then we got to take this off because this doesn't work. Those are not there. So this, by theory, should. Now, the only thing I don't know is the grid. Let's see here. What do we do in our grid here? So we're saying column definitions. Let's see what our spacing is in our column definitions. Here's column definitions. So we want this to match also. We're going to cheat. We're going to take the column definitions, the same column definitions here. And then we need to, wait, why did we? Oh, because we're dividing the grid here, and here we're just making it part of the definition here of the grid itself. Let's see here. So we just need these. Let me make sure I grab these right. We need all three of these, actually. Wait, no. This is flyout. And where was our grid definition? Here it is. Never mind. This is what we need. Wait, that's the grid. This is the column definition. So we would have to do is column definition instead of grid. It is. So we would have to put column definition inside of grid and then remove column definition here. And that would matrix so it matches. Let's try that. Let's see if that fixes it. And that, by theory, should make the logo look the same as the other menu items. We got a little spacing problem there. You can see there's more spacing than the other ones, but the font looks the same now. And that may be because of image problems. But that is getting closer, right? And my guess is I probably have some padding here somewhere. Yeah, so the image has got 5. I'm guessing the image here does not. So yeah, here's the menu. You can see here's image. It's got a margin of 5. But so the image right here has got a margin of 5, and this is for the menu item template. If we go look at image here, that's the difference here. See this where we got a height request and stuff? We don't have a margin on here. Oh, we do have a margin. Here we go. So when UI, it is it's 12 and 12 and 0, 0, and then on the rest of it, there is none. So that we have an image margin issue where the image, even though it's not there, I'm guessing this is causing the margin to pop out. And that's the reason why we're seeing the difference. The other thing could be is the vertical text alignment. Center. I don't think we do any vertical lines on this. Nope, we do center here. We should probably get the horizontal alignment to work also, because otherwise it's going to break on Windows. My guess, though, it's the padding here. This margin of 5, where they're doing it here on 12, and only for WinUI for the margin. Otherwise, they have a height and width request for the image. Let me see if they have any padding here. So I took all this from the template from Microsoft just so people know. They're like, wait, why are you saying they? They provide you a basic template. Where is it? They give you all the stuff here, but they give you a really pretty decent template here. Somewhere in this very long scrolling thing, they give you like a template example. And that's what I took for mine. It's probably this one. Oh, that's menu item. This is, no. There it is. Here it is. This is the template that they give you, the default template for flyout menus. And so I took that literally from their code. So that's how I know, this is their documentation that I'm using for this. And that's where I think one of my problems is. Let's see here. Because you'd think they'd make it match, but obviously I've cut and pasted from theirs and it doesn't. Let's see how bad that is again. I think that's what's killing it. I'm going to have to get images working, like some awesome logos or icons, I guess, and then this will be a different problem to solve for a different day, right? But I think my menu at least looks better other than that margin problem. Now I got to get this selection thing where the selected text is not working right. So let's see here. How is this working? It's definitely defined in the grid here. Visual state here. So we have a visual state list, normal, and then here's selected. So you can see here the property is background color is getting a light or dark. But the visual state setter doesn't know that there's a label inside of it and to set the label color. And so that's where we got a problem. And so the visual state setter is for, here's our visual state groups, right? So in our group, we're saying that this is for common states, normal. Our setter would be for background color transparent. And then for selected, we're saying this, which doesn't work because of the fact that it's you can't see the color. So one thing I could do is change this to a color that is friendly to both themes, like the red color I use, right? On the logo. That's something I could do and see if and that's probably what I would do anyways. Let's take a look at that real quick. So we can go to our view and let's go to our login, not view model. Let's go to views, our logo, our login. Let's go find our red color here. There we go. We should define this instead of hard coding this in, but so what is light though? It's taking an object. I don't know if it's going to take. I don't know if it'll take this as being a value that it's going to want. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. App theme binding. We gotta look that up. Binding to hex color doesn't work. It says this is closed, but that doesn't work. That's weird, and that's from last year. See, this is normally how you do it is you'd set up a key, right? A dynamic resource and do that. But I don't even know if that's going to work because of the code. It's just asking for a color. Let's do this. Because according to this, it's getting the color from an object, right? Well, let's do this. We don't need background value. Oh, wait. Value would be, one sec. Can it take a color for the value instead of the, yeah, so on platform color, well, they're saying this is how you change the label. But what we want is here, the background color. So you'd say, why can't I just make it that? Why can't I just make it a string? Can I make it a string and get rid of the app binding altogether? So there's two ways to fix this. Either this needs to go away. Something like this. Get rid of the extra quotation mark in there. See if that works. We may need a different shade of red for that. And then we should probably put this in the styling. Actually, I do like that. That works. That works better than I thought it would. Okay. Well, how? I think we might keep that. Let's test on iPhone where we are having a lot of problems. See if I can get iPhone working. We have an iPhone 13 mini here. And I think I have to run because I got to get back to work. I know I've got to fix the splash screen and stuff. Yep. There we go. Logo, it's working. Developer. Replicator still doesn't show up here, so that means it's more of a rendering problem. And then this is what I've noticed. I can't get to projects in iOS at all unless you click very far down. Just like in, I was showing you in Catalyst, it's only the first menu item that this happens on. If you click on the word, it doesn't work. Click below the word, it does work. So that's a tap gesture issue with the spacing. That's a bummer. Because you kind of want that just to work. Replication is kind of interesting. The view for replication is not... Oh, there's nothing in it. That's the issue. That seems like it's pretty easy to fix. I mean, if that's the fix, that's embarrassing. It makes sense. There it is. All right. I think we have navigation kind of working, minus that little defect here that I'm gonna have to think about. Like, how do you hack in a fix for that? I mean, I know a way of doing that. You make the first menu item blank, so it doesn't trigger it. That's a hack. That's not how it should be. I should ping out to Twitter some people that work on the Maui team to explain this to me. Why iOS that's the case. I think that's what the next item to do is. But I think we're gonna be good. Oh, let's check Android real quick. We know Android's just like really broken right now. Android's been the broken child in Maui for me, for my UI. So let's see here what happens with it. I think we'll call this stream a day. And hopefully my streaming woes will not be here tomorrow, and we'll have things where the audio works right away. Apologize for that. I had to delete those streams where the audio wasn't working. And I still have to look at other options here for multi-stream and see if there's a better way of doing this. It's there's got to be a better way of doing this. Well, my app's there. Install selected projects is what it's doing. Okay. I trust you. There it goes. Just don't have the patience. I'm used to native where it just happens instantly. And this is what I was seeing over in the themes don't work in Android. So the background color is hosed. So in Android, we would have to do and shell. Where is it? Fly out. That's visual state. But how do we tell shells? There's the header template. Here's the show items. Here's the menu item template. Here's the item template. But how do you tell show that the background for flyout is a different color? We'll have to probably theme fly out. It's a brush. Oh, here we go. I'm guessing we have to do an on platform on this background color to try to fix this. We would have to say something like right here. So we'd say on platform Android black. But I'd be really interested to see whether or not the this the theme support would work. Where they're doing this here, this app theme binding. That bombed when I did it before, and that's why it's commented out. Yep, see, that fixes it. But now the problem would be is if I go to light mode, it's not going to, it'll still be black, which I mean isn't a huge issue, I guess. Oops. Let's go see the inventory. Log in with light mode. Yeah. So see, it's not going to look 100% right in light mode because of the fact that it's hard-coded. I have a feeling if I try to use their silly app theme bindings, this doesn't work. So I'm going to guess that if I were to do... So we were doing this on shell. So if we were to say shell fly out, so it's what fly out background color. We'd have to do something like shell background color. And then from there, we'd have to say, where is this example they got? Be something like this. I'm pretty sure this is going to bust everything. Oops. It wouldn't be shell, it would be fly out. Fly out. And you'd say what's available. It's a brush. Let's see. Shell fly out background. How to. They want a brush, and I have a feeling that's maybe why this is breaking down here. It's weird that I can't get the background color, even though I can get it here. I can't get it in here with a shell dot fly out background color color. Maybe that does work. Because any property you set up here, you should be able to set in XAML just by calling it out. It's a serializer, right? I mean, it should just do that. So flyout background should be a color, and I should just be able to say platform Android. I wonder if that works. This will probably break everything, by the way. I'm fully admitting that this will probably just break everything. Let's see if it builds. What are we getting? Oh, yeah, it doesn't like to comment in the middle of a definition. That would be totally makes sense. Had the build succeeded? I mean, maybe it works. I fully expect this to melt. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. A breakdown. Because it's saying that it can't convert. Well, I kind of predicted that, right? I predicted that valid cast. So you'll see here. It's pretty mad. Mine's 16. Well, that's just my initialization of shell. So that's where it's serializing the view. Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to do that. And if we just tell it to continue, it's just going to bomb out. The app just ain't going to work. A computer says no to you, Aaron. This is one of the hardest parts of using XAML. Is like trying to figure out like how to get something like this working. And so we're saying color on platform, we're saying Android, and we're saying, and so this typecasting is not working. And I think this is the problem. This value binding is not working. It doesn't know light versus dark for some reason. Even though they're docs. I mean, I literally cut and paste that from the docs. So if I just said value black, without any conversion, without any kind of thing, the question would be, does that work? Oops. What error? Oh. What error now? Oh, this would have to be closed. Try to see if this works. This would tell me at least that the on-platform stuff is working in XAML, and that more of it's this value converter that's not working. And then the question would be, do you just write your own, right? Do you try to figure out like why the value converter is not working and then write something that actually does? Oh, that's iOS. That's why it's not showing up. Yep. So it is working. So the very problem here is this code here, this app theme binding. So that's something we're going to have to look into, this app theme binding. Okay, well. So it's a duplicate of this. This is a duplicate of this. So this is supposedly March 13th. It's merged, but that doesn't seem to be, just read through it. That doesn't seem to be my problem at all. I mean, this is it. This has got to be something really stupid, right? Because you can't tell me that. Well, this is saying that it's still not there, but you can't tell me that somebody didn't look at Shell and said, "Oh, theming doesn't work in Shell." Right when the code comes right from here, right from Microsoft, right? That this doesn't work out of the box. And I know that I can't look at David's example from the Maui team because his app doesn't do theming. And so that doesn't help, right? Boy. Yeah. So this is a problem I'm gonna have to figure out for Android. Like, how do we solve this problem of getting this to work? It seems like it's a Maui problem, right? But if Maui ain't gonna fix it, then I don't know how long it's gonna take to fix. I should post a defect and see what. I think that I can't complain about this being broken and not post some kind of defect about this to say that this is a problem. Let me just quick check Shell. So I think I see in shell. And if I all right, what's I get here? What if I take all this out? So we know that that's what's going on, right? Let's just take out all the customization. We can say that there's no customizations in this whatsoever. It is a standard stock application. And then see what happens in Android. Oh, shit. It's mad. Flyout, menu, item template. Why is it mad? Where is it? It's saying that something in my comments is broken. So we're going to have to go look. I must have another comment in here somewhere. Yep. So the parser is not smart enough to figure out that the comment, the second comment was just a comment. So I had to take out the secondary comment that I had in here for this. That's a bummer also. Okay, it renders. Let's switch to dark mode. Same problem. With no theming whatsoever, the flyout does not work right. So it has nothing to do with anything I set. This is just out of the box. All right, let's check this code in. This is... got too many code things here going on. This in code space. Where is this project on my machine? Open in Finder. This is in Couchbase Tutorials. CD .NET inventory, get status, get commit, or dip. We gotta add these two. Git add. That should get me commit out there. I'll put a bug in with the Maui team. I think that's the easiest thing to do is put a bug in with that with the Maui team and at least get some feedback from a couple different people of like what the hell and what is a workaround, a good workaround for this. So I appreciate everybody for watching video on demand or sitting around for the stream. I will be back tomorrow for the lunch stream and hopefully we'll have less technical audio difficulties. So thanks again for sticking around and I'll see you.